the Psychic Community podcast. I've got a special guest, one of our lovely favourite readers on the show, Ronald Coculo. Hi, Ronald.
Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Brilliant. So, Ronald, talk me about your spiritual abilities. I mean, you've been a reader on Psychic Community for quite some months now, haven't you? It's got to be almost a year, surely.
Yeah.
So tell me about.
Oh, wow, yes.
Tell me how you work in your abilities.
Basically, I tap into the frequency, the vibration of the angelic realm. And that came about through just simple discovery. I asked it because I didn't believe it at first. I was like, really, is this really happening? Am I talking about this? And I cannot be telling lies. No, I won't do this because I was, of course, nervous at first. What's going on? What do I have? What's going on with my able to do intuitive reading on Oracle? But what's going on further? Well, anyway, this true story. I actually was doing dishes one day, and my wife, she's such a great support. She's so supportive in everything that I'm doing here. She was asking me what I'm doing. I said, I'm just trying to connect with the angels. I need someone to come forward. Someone has to tell me something. I need an answer. And I started to really feel grounded, tingling all over. I knew I was starting to have something come through. I was like, oh boy. And you might hear my daughter in the background.
That's all right.
That's okay. You can still work that. So basically, I asked one of them to step forward to let me know, because I need to know if I'm doing the truth. I need to know what's happening. And if one of them steps forward, and when that comes through, it's hard to, it's just like a vibrational frequency. They're not actually words. It gets translated through light language, and I don't even know how to read it, but somehow I'm able to understand it. And I'm going to learn how to read it one day. I really will. It's all in the backlog. I will. I have so much in the backlog. And then one step forward, and I was what's the name? Fanuel. And then I looked up Fanuel. And I've never used the name. I never heard. I was like, wow, Fanuel actually discerns who is like a reader, who is telling truth, who is speaking like the gospel, and discerns who is not, and says who is like the phonies, the ones that are not real, and that's who stepped forward, clarifying that we're helping you. You are getting information from us. And I was like, okay, good enough for me. I'm good with that. Thank you. And I asked them to step back, and they did. When they come forward, it's an energy like a starlight energy, very, very bright, slightly tingly, very magical feeling. And they have allowed me to do this, and that's why I do this for everyone, because it's a clearing. It's a guidance from your birth angel. And your birth angel is always with you, and many people don't realize you can always ask them to step forward and help you in life. Ask them for guidance, and they will. They're waiting. They've been there since you were born. They were there when you signed your soul contract, and that's their job. That's what they love doing, and it's never too much. And they're with me every day, and you ask for it every day, and things can happen. They're the guidances that I give on my oracle reads, and one day I'll do tarot. But yet, I'll be honest, tarot, to me, you must know the story. You must know the journey. And if you don't know the journey, it's kind of hard to do an interpretive reading to me. I'm not ready for that yet. And I've been told, slow down. Yeah. So I do that, and that's where it comes through. It comes through the angelic realm to help people, because we need that. We need to have our souls more in line with our body. To make it through the day.
No, I 100% agree with you. I mean, for me, I started my spiritual journey quite young, and I went on this massive rampage of trying to learn every single spiritual tool. And in the end, Spirit are like, no, you've got to slow down, master what you've got, and slow it down.
Yes. Yeah, that'll happen. They'll slow you down. And you have to listen.
Yeah.
Spirit will never ever steer you wrong, and the more you open and trust, and as you know, when I say trust is not something that you're just going ahead and saying, that's it, I'm done, you do everything for me. No, it's more of an opening up. It's saying, I'm allowing you to take my free will and guide me to the right choices, because they know more than we know. They know the choices that are going to work for us, and more. So when we allow that in, we're going to get the more.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing.
So how long have you been working on this spiritual vibration then?
I know I talk a lot, and I'll keep it brief because I don't want to keep this as like a 3-hour podcast. I knew something was going on my whole life.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna my grandmother, I call her Nana. She had passed away, and she always, since I was a little kid, would call me on the phone. She was just a big mentor in my life, and my parents got divorced when I was in the middle of second grade. You see, and that's another thing. I refer to it as middle of second grade, not how old I was. I don't know why I still can't memorize that, but I only refer to it as that because it was a time when they got the divorce, a big disruption in my life. I started feeling emotions, not realizing I was an empath, which gave me all those freak out moments of anxiety and such whatnot. Well, my grandmother was always my stability. She would call me and give me the horoscope every day.
Yeah. Oh, bless her.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So she was always there for me, introducing that side that no one else ever spoke about, like the taboo slightly in a way. Wonderful. So when she actually, my whole life I've had experiences of like coming close to that, never really realizing that was a part of me. I lived in New York City. This is a very quick, brief one. I lived in New York City for like 25 years, and I used to be the club kid. I would go out and just go and have a blast and dance. I became, this is no lie, I became one of the people that didn't have to pay. I got let through the velvet rope because I was with the performers, and I was allowed to jump onto the speaker and perform for the crowd. Okay, I didn't realize I was producing magic. I was dealing with manifestation, and I didn't know that because my vibration was so high that I literally could make the cast of the venue and dictate how the emotion of the whole and event would be. Of course, I was always choosing positive because you don't want to see me on the downside. I suck the energy down. That's why I choose. It's very careful to choose the positive, higher vibration, and that all came about. And what really triggered it, what really did it, was when my grandparents did pass away. It wasn't the fact that it was so sad. I just made it a determination that I was going to figure out how to contact them. I was going to figure out how I would not accept the fact that they were gone. I knew they weren't gone. I knew there was something more. I believed in that. I knew that it wasn't just this and it's over. That's impossible because, as you know, matter, it cannot be destroyed. It can only be transferred, so to speak, or maybe changing in its chemistry or composition, but it's never destroyed. So if that's the factor, well then we have eternal souls. They're not gone. So I made an effort to do that. My wife being supportive, she also had a devastation that happened in her life that happened later on. I started this journey through a site called All Things Mystical, and I don't even know its expanded name, and magical and such whatnot going on now. They were so attracted. I was so attracted to them during the pandemic, during lockdown. We had nowhere to go, nothing to do. Boom, perfect time for my abilities to really say, hey, you have no outside disturbances. Here we go. And I didn't know that. They were gearing me up. I joined the site. I felt so at home. I started to really want to get into tarot reading, but I was drawn to Oracle. And then somebody on the site discovered me. And then they said, you should take mediumship classes. You should do this. And they took me on the journey, and they said, yes, we knew it. You were shining, and here you are. That was a big effort of my grandmother. She was there during every session. She is hysterical. She had the crew laughing. The circle was in, like, they were just like, oh my God, I wish we met her in life. She was there during my journey, helped me through it. When I have a connection, Joshua, it's not, I don't see them. I feel them. The image goes across in my head like a projector in a way, but I don't actually see them outwardly out there. There are different ways of people connecting, but I connect in a vibration. Yeah, and the words, when I hear the words get translated in that light language again because it feels like an electricity going through me, and then the words come through as a translation because that's how my mind processes it until it's able to understand differently. But that's what I get, and I know it's them because it's never in a scene that we've reenacted from before, and it's usually something I don't know. And so I've connected with her many times, and my wife, her father passed away, and that's when it really started peaking. It was devastating to her. I was able to bring her father through. She was able to be there with him. This is big. This is why it's important to tell you this. She was there with him the day he died, the moment he died with him. She helped him cross over. As I sat home here in Maine while she was in Massachusetts with him, we connected, her and I together on the spiritual realm while I went ahead and meditated to my light self, my light being where my soul transitions into connecting with higher self, and we connected together to help him cross over. We saw the same exact thing of putting him in the convertible that he loved in his life, driving off into the beautiful light, basically. And it was a transition that it was hard for him, but we helped him. And after that, he was able to come visit us at home, and I would connect sometimes for her. Hey, hi, there's my wife over there. She has sticky noodles on there. I'm sorry, I'm talking to my wife. It just went off. Like I said, it's a home thing.
Hi, Ronald's wife.
It's a home. Oh, all right. And, yes, exactly. I know we're live, and it's just how it goes. But that's part of life, and that's how it's always going to be. I always incorporate my family.
I think
I don't want to run away from them.
I think a lot of people respect you, Ron, because you're not a showbiz man. You are upfront, honest, and true, and your family are such a big part of your life. And I think people understand that and respect that of you.
They're part of the journey.
I absolutely love the outlook of like death and how you felt like, okay, I'm not going to really sit there and mourn. I'm going to go and communicate with them. And I myself can relate to that because that was what sort of really started my spiritual journey in learning, because I saw something and I thought, right, I'm going to take every step to learn this spirit. So I just love that outlook. It's an amazing gift. And people that are grieving, I think that just sends a powerful message because everyone can do it.
Yes.
So
you take at the time in your life that might be devastating, and it might actually be a gateway into something of discovery.
Yeah.
So it's a perspective.
Everyone's sort of skeptical, like when they start out, and like you was at the beginning, and you needed that evidence and clarification that you wasn't.
Oh yeah.
What advice would you say to people starting out, and what did you do to develop?
I went into circle. I had a group. I had other peers that were developing as I was. So we had the proof within the circle. Don't do it alone. Don't do it alone because it's hard alone. You can, absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with having your own way and your own way of practice and connecting. But it's more of the fact of you believing. And if you don't have the belief, you have the connection, because you're not going to get it that it's not you doing this. Do circles. Get together with people. Get together with a group of like-minded people of all range. Get the people that are just learning with you, a best friend, someone you could trust. And then within that, then you do your practices upon each other, and then you experience together. Therefore, you have your proof. It becomes something of tangibility, and then becomes your belief. Your belief then opens up further. Every day is learning. That's the other thing. Please understand that, everyone. Every day is learning. You're never going to get to a peak where you know it all. Never, never, never. It's like being a sommelier. You're never going to know every wine. That's impossible. They're ever changing. Be like that wine, ever growing, ever learning, expanding. You never know. Maybe it might be the season that blossoms you. Exactly like that. You just have to be willing to grow. And also, please understand this. You are fallible. You are a human being. You will make mistakes. Honor them. You do not know everything. You must give yourself over to spirit not in a possession way. First clarification, it's not a possession. It's allowing them in to guide you. And honestly, one of the strongest things I've ever come up with is I allow you to take over my free will and guide me along my soul path for the right answers, the right choices, the right connections. You can do that. Developing your Prayer is essential. Joshua, as you know, prayer and also protection. Please, when you're developing, always protect. Never open without that protection. Simple protection. If you don't know of any, here's the best one. What do you believe in? What do you believe in? Allow that in. Allow it in like it's a solar light, because that's what it is. You're allowing the solar light in, the source light, the God light, as your protection first and foremost. And then allow your birth angels, your guides in, because they're not going to allow anything in. Because when you open, it's a doorway. Mm-hmm. You can allow. You're also a spotlight. You're the fog light, okay? And they're going to come because they're attracted to that. And you want the right coming through, and you can do it, and it will be safe. It'll absolutely be safe. Never do something against your own instincts. Okay, yeah. That's the other thing. But that's it. Yeah, pretty much with that, then you develop. But really try to do it with like-minded people and circle groups. It'll help you progress, and you'll really
spiritual path.
Well, first, I was raised Catholic, and that was a belief. I just, even when I was I knew there was more. I was just, as a young child, I had those ideas. But overall, as being involved with what I am, I've opened up in such a spiritual way. I keep questioning, where is this coming from? I don't sit there and read scripture. I'm not sitting there ever being a person that goes to church. I nothing against church, nothing against anyone's beliefs, but the thing is, it opened me up. So my spiritual beliefs are the belief of humankind. My spiritual understanding is that we're here for a purpose to try to understand each other. A message that came through in one of my meditations is, which blew me away, is that the reason why we have such diversity in different languages is so we all come from a different point of perspective to come together and share our stories and find the similarities and enjoy the differences and then move on and grow from there. But we didn't get that because no one got the memo. So we just, within spirituality, I'm not sure where that would lie within a belief system of Catholic, being Christian. I kind of welcome all. I welcome it like a pinnacle, like a pyramid, and we all have that belief system for humanity and for us to go further in our evolution, because this is just we're getting further. That we're at that point where we're going to start going further in evolution. Whatever's going to join in with that, I'm all for it. I believe your belief if you come from an unconditional love understanding. Yeah. That's the best way I can answer that.
Do you know what? I'm loving chatting to you because I'm getting to know you that little bit more. And you know what? We've got quite a lot in common. Like for me, like I've had a similar background, but mine was I was brought up into a Christian environment and going to Christian school and things like that. And then changing into sort of a normal school and having that culture shock and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're being immersed into it almost with no choice, but it winded up being the choice that worked.
Yeah.
Okay. And that actually goes really very quick. I can sum it up in 15 seconds. That goes into a perfect understanding of my belief system. Does it work for you? Meaning, does it? Are you feeling good with it? Does it resonate with you? Are you feeling happy, joyous? Do you feel like the good things are coming in your life? That's when it works for you. And then, does it work for others? Meaning, does it bother anyone what you're doing? Can others prosper from it? Can others grow from it? Or the other way, is it harming someone? Are you hurting someone's feelings? Or are you destroying someone's livelihood? Those are the factors of how I balance my life. If they feel that they work and they work, it really does resonate working because it's a belief system without limitations.
Brilliant. That's a lovely view. My next question for you is, obviously you're a very proud father, a real family man, and you've got children. Do any of your children have this awakening ability? Have you noticed?
Yes. Yes. Both of them. Very powerful energies. My daughter is so outgoing. She's 3.5 years old. She is a little spitfire, and she really resonates an energy of pure love, and she gets to know people and brings out the joy in them. But she runs around with like a spirit energy of earth, and she definitely connects, without a doubt. She and I do have psychic connections that sometimes, without her realizing it, I slightly read her mind or put those suggestions, like a Jedi mind trick, after she picks up on it. And but she definitely does. My son, yes, he does. There have been so many indications that he doesn't know it yet, but he's a medium. He's a medium, and he's connected and seen things when our dog. Oh, that was another devastating moment too. That was one of the first catalysts when my dog passed away. It really set me over, and that devastation really opened up because my angels and guides stepped in and said, "We're not going to wait for you to ask us in." They dove in and said, "We're taking care of you. That's it. Sorry, you're getting to the first stage." Because it broke us. It broke us. But anyway, he saw her in the woods in our backyard and said, Maddie's there. Maddie's there. And this is after she passed away. And then we got a new dog, and he would look at the dog and say, "That's Maddie." And this is when he was able to speak more. And he would look at the picture and say, "Maddie." And then he would go over to our new dog, which was very similar, Ziggy, and he would go, Ziggy is Maddie. Ziggy is Maddie, because he knows that her soul went to join with Ziggy to complete her life. It was a very, very beautiful connection. There was a time when her dad did pass on, when he first did pass over, he did visit, and Johnny, he would remember, and he spoke to, but didn't realize what he was speaking to, and it was happy. It was very good, and he knew something was there. So yeah, but he doesn't show it all the time. But he also is a very, very smart. Oh boy, he's 7, okay, and I'm not bragging, but they want him to go test for gifted and talented. He's in first grade, but he's so advanced, and that has a lot to do with because his guides, because of the people that are around him, they've been teaching him as I've been teaching him simultaneously. He literally would do times tables before they were learning them at school, and I taught him a little, but it was, how are you? Because they were teaching him too. Because the people that passed on, his guides, were good with math. Oh my goodness! And I laughed about it because my wife and I picked it up immediately. So yes, they do have abilities. We definitely know that. We're going to harness them. We're going to talk to them about it as they grow. We're not going to ever have them shy from. We're going to have them open to that as they will. But always with that understanding, not to push upon others, and you don't want to just flaunt it. It's something, if people ask, be truthful and live into it so you can share it with others. We already do that, and they already kind of get that. I'm very open with my readings. Whenever I say I'm doing a live, "Oh, Daddy's doing a live." Sometimes they come in here so they can, and my daughter wants to always pick cards. So yeah, they grow up in it. They're a part of it. But it does something. I do believe it's something that can go down your family line. It can be hereditary. My wife is also medium. I don't like to always disclose that. She doesn't like me to always talk about it. But oh well, here we go. She is. So it's in our line. My grandmother to me. So yes, it's perfect sense for them. But I'm so thankful.
Amazing. So what's your spiritual goal? I mean, what's coming up for you next on your spiritual path at the minute? Is there like a goal that you're working towards?
Yeah. Actually, I every day I put it out there and I pray. And sometimes that's why when I do my lives, if you ever catch, if I accidentally forget to step out of the way and let the conduit only come through, I might get emotional and I might tear up because I see it happening. But what my dream and goal is honestly to figure out a way to do this, connect and do lives, help people, raise the vibration around the world, because I have friends around the world at this point, and I want to teach them, grow with them, learn with them, share with everyone about raising the vibration, because we're in a big shift. We're in a big shift that is It's not a joke. It's not a talk about. It's an actual happening from third density to fifth density. Just meaning that what we've all been taught, and it's nothing that I'm not putting down anyone anywhere. But for some reason, it got misconstrued along the way that our abilities to shut them down, don't do that. It's not. But why would we be given something if it wasn't for the good? And for most people that do connect, and when it's that, it is that much more beautiful with that of an understanding of life itself. And I'm trying to help people understand it's okay. It's okay to do that, to live into that, to be that, and to keep sharing and growing like a field. Okay, imagine if you would have garden, and from that garden we're going into a field. From that field we're going into a huge meadow. From that meadow we're going into a country down to a continent. And I wanted to go around the world as best as possible so we can all connect, so we can all go further and not feel so subjected to the doubts, the negative, the I don't like to use the word evil. Evil is what you choose. Okay, it's a frequency. It's what you choose. It's a lower vibration. But I want people to realize that we felt for so long, and it's truth, that we felt we had to choose that vibration because that's what we were told was just all there. But the good is what we all want, and we put it off as a want, like it's going to happen later. Okay, later is now.
Yeah.
The one is coming forward now. So we don't need to feel those lower vibrations anymore. And everybody's starting to wake up to that. People are feeling that. People are changing their jobs after doing it for a lifelong career. And they're realizing because it wasn't fulfilling enough, because they never really opened themselves up. They've shut themselves down because, hey, let's face it, what was important at the time? That's the thing. Now we're realizing what's important at the time is us, because if it's not us, we can't go forward to help others. So it's all internal. We're doing a lot of internal work, a lot of shadow work. I want to keep spreading that out there. I want to keep going. I want to get to a level, okay, Joshua, I want to get to a level that I have enough income coming in somehow to do this full time, that I can give, 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 give nonstop. I want to have enough money that I can take care of my family and get us taken care of. Oh gosh, here we go. All right, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. All right, I gotta shake myself out of this. I almost got emotional because
bless you.
Part of all of that, part of all of that is I am not gonna accept any of that unless I give to charities also.
Yeah.
Part of all that stipulation, whether I win a lottery, whether somebody gives a huge donation that says, I believe in what you're doing, I back you, here you go, I'm an entrepreneur, this is what I believe in doing. Whether I land that job, I'm going to have to work from home because I can't leave my wife, she's disabled. But not in a bad way, she has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a degenerative tissue disorder. Yeah. So we manage it, we work through the day, but I cannot leave my children or her. I am needed. I chose to be here. All right, listen, everyone. Choose things in life. I chose to be here. It's more powerful. So I want that to come around so I could have that happen for my life, to live that life where I am taken care of, not having to worry about paying our bills. I know that's the dream for everyone, but my dream goes further because I'm doing this not just for us. I want to give to charities. That's part of the stipulation. I'm not talking about $10. I'm talking about a percentage, a big percentage that goes to children that never go hungry. It goes to them. It goes to wherever that's going to be. But my choice is to do it for around the world, however that much it's going to be. I'm going to keep giving around there. No child is going to go hungry, and that includes their family included. Okay, because you can't go hungry. If you do, you can't help. So that's my goal right there. And it's also to give to animals that are mistreated, the animals out there that are abandoned. Our goal is to one day have an animal like sanctuary to all those that are aging that people don't want. We want to have a lot of land. My goal is to have hundreds of acres if possible, so they can come and live on the land for the rest of their days and die naturally. I want to have, that's part of what we'd like to do, but it's a big goal. You know what? But shoot for the goal like that. Yeah. Shoot for the dream. Something that sounds so outlandish. Something that sounds like it's nowhere practical. But you know what? I'm going to make it practical. I'm going to make that dream true because I won't stop until it does. Whether it doesn't happen in this lifetime, I will do it in another because this is not our only lifetime. That would define us to not have an eternal life of our soul. So anyway.
I think it's really important, really, that you bring, like, we talk about money, and for
Yeah.
us as a medium and working on this level, I mean, sometimes we've had that internal conflict about
It's
money.
hard.
And the thing is, what
It's
people,
hard.
yeah, what people don't understand is that money is just a physical form of energy. So we're
That's
giving
all it
our
is.
energy out, spending our time, our emotions, our gifts and connections. And an
Mm-hmm.
artist will sell his work, you know, and as a psychic, spiritual medium, I think it's important that you have an exchange of energy. And what I think is beautiful is that even though like you can have that exchange, you're giving another exchange to spirit by doing charity work and
Yes.
giving
Yes.
a little bit back
Exactly.
into
Exactly.
community. And I think that's really
It's
important.
yes. Very much. No, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Sorry,
It is
no.
very important.
No, I mean I've been the same. I mean I've been grown up thinking, oh, I don't want to charge. I've been charging pittance or nothing at all, and it isn't until sort of my later life that I kind of feel, well, okay, well I need to survive, and spirit are providing
Exactly.
me these readings, so that I've got to put a price on what my time and energy. And if it was wrong, then spirit wouldn't be providing clients and customers and people in my life to do it. But you know, we have to survive. There has to be an exchange of energy, and my Reiki master always taught me that. You know, you can throw your energy to the
Yes.
wind, and people will sometimes don't appreciate that because you're doing it for free. And just by saying like put an exchange, it shows that gratitude and that respect for what you're doing. You know, and I
Yes.
really love what she said there. So yeah, I really feel that you're on the same sort of wavelength as myself, really, and um, yeah,
Absolutely.
and I totally respect and understand where you're coming from with that. So that's beautiful. So my next question is for you. Kind of sort of coming to the end of the podcast now, is all the people that are supporting you, because you've got a lot of support from psychic community fans and supporters on there. You've got your own little groups and things and projects and stuff outside psychic community as well. What is your spiritual healing message to them? What do you want to put out there at the minute to the world, and what's inside you that you want to share?
I what I want to share to well to all the different sites. For one thing, um, I was asked to be on all the sites, which is one of the greatest honors. That like, wow, you noticed what I do and you'd like me to do that live, of course. And what I want to say to everyone is, please, throughout your life, throughout everything you do, just do something outside of yourself. Do some. I did these because I honestly wanted to grow, but I wanted to do this for the sites, to build the sites up for the people, and it was beyond for what I wanted, beyond what I was doing, and I want to do the readings to get them clear out of the path. Do something selfless every day for without any expect of return or a thank you or anything. Thank yourself. Build your confidence in yourself. Every answer that you ever go out there looking for is truly within you, but you sometimes need to have your spotlights on inside to see it because it might be shadowed out. You have it within you, but then that's why you come to us. That's why you're here. That's why we are on these pages to help. It just I want people to understand out there that everything you're going through, it's not the fact that you're not alone. It is more the fact that you have validation. Okay, this is real. We might be here for entertainment purposes only, for the fact of we can't say this is happening, voodoo magic, and here it comes. And that's nothing bad against voodoo. Everything has its own representation and need and purpose in life. It's a fact that it won't be something that's poof, it's done, and you have to work at it. These are tools. They're guidances, and if you really listen, they're what's being awakened inside of you. Have more belief in yourself. Have more understanding that you are of purpose.
Yeah.
Everything you do matters, not just to you. Because if you were gone, it's a ripple effect that a lot of people would have to work through. A lot of people would have to get mending of the heart through. So everything you do, realize, give gratitude back because everything you're worth it.
Beautiful. Thank you for that, Ron. Okay, that
You're
is
welcome.
the end of our little podcast. So thank you for spending the time for the newsletter, doing this for our followers that are on there. Um, And I wish you and your family lots of love, blessings, and have a fabulous day over in the USA.
Thank you kindly. Hey, maybe one day we'll get over there. That's another one of our goals. All of my sites and most of my starts came from over there. It's amazing how it happened. I mean, bless the internet for all that. But maybe one day, that's another goal. We'll talk about that one day.
Well, you're always welcome here anyway. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And
you're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, and we shall catch you live on the Psychic Community page at some point, I'm sure. And have a lovely day.
You too.
All right then.
Bye
Take
now.
care. See you later. Okay, so that was Ronald from Psychic Community. So that was an absolute privilege to communicate and speak to him, and just listening to some of the background and his journey. I mean, for me, I can really relate and reflect on a lot of that, and it really kind of brings into realization that we're all got this gift and this ability, and we all struggle with life's lessons. And you know, the number one thing that I kind of got from that is we can't sit there and really rely on think about the negativities. We've got to keep striving for that positivity and keep hoping and believing and manifesting what we're trying to achieve and what we want in life. And that's what I got really from having that podcast with Ron, and it's been an absolute pleasure and a beautiful energy to work with. So thank you for tuning in. My name's Joshua Rose, and that was the Psychic Community podcast. And we shall communicate and chat at some point, I'm sure, in the future. Lots of love, light, and blessings to each and every one of you. Take care.